Hello students, welcome back to our educational program. My name is Ms. Layla and today we are going to discuss Unit 7, Grade 7. So for the title of today's lesson, it's going to be Journey to the Past. This is episode 2, Reading Comprehension. So we're going to focus today on reading. This is prepared by Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Zuaibi, presented by Mrs. Layla Taqi, edited by Mr. Osama Jabr, revised by Mrs. Suzanne Al-Bashiti, videographed by Engineer Ahmed Rida. Now we're going to begin reading comprehension. Okay, for reading, before we read, we have several tips. Let's go over them. We went over them for the first course. Now, of course, we're going to go over them again because they are very important. Number one, of course, read the questions first. So before you read the text, read the questions first. It's very important. Don't forget to read the text more than once so you can understand even more details. 3, read the first sentence of each paragraph. It's the most important sentence of the paragraph. Of course, you have to have your pen with you when you read to underline the key facts and words of the text. Write your answers in full sentences and clear handwriting. And lastly, when you come across a difficult word, you have to try to guess its meaning from the context. Okay, for the types of questions that you're going to face for reading comprehension, we know that you have multiple choice questions. We're going to ask you to choose the best title or the main idea of the paragraph. We're going to give you unfamiliar words, and we're going to ask you to choose the most meaningful word that is related to the word that is given or the opposite word of the word. Now, number 3, word reference. I'm going to give you a pronoun, what this pronoun is referring to. Number 4, locating explicit information. The information is clear in the text. And extracting implicit information. I'm going to ask for information that you need to understand the text so you can give it. And lastly, what is the purpose of the writer or the lesson or moral that is learned. And of course, you have the other type of question that is productive questions, meaning you're going to write them down. Explicit question, the answer is going to be very clear in the text, or implicit question, the answer must, you have to understand the text to give your understanding, and that is the answer. Now we are going to read about Journey to the Past. It's in your student's book, page 45. Before you read, of course, we have to read the questions. What questions would you like to ask about life in Kuwait in the past? So what kind of aspects are you wondering about the life of the Kuwaitis in the past? Now, we're going to read the dialogue between Abdurrahman and his grandpa and answer the following questions. So this is a dialogue between the grandpa and Abdurrahman. First, as we said, we have to look for the questions first so we can put them in mind while we look for the answers. The question number 1, what is the best title of the text? 2, the word preserved in the third paragraph means what? The pronoun they in the first paragraph refers to what? Abdurrahman is interviewing his grandpa to what? Number 5, according to the dialogue, one of the following statements is true. The others are false. Number 6, the purpose of the writer in writing this dialogue is what? 7, what kind of friends makes us or makes you happy? 8, why was life in the past difficult? Now, we're going to read. Introduction by Abdurrahman. My history teacher asked me to write a report about life in Kuwait before and after oil. So I decided to pay my grandpa a visit to ask him to help me with the report. Abdurrahman begins with saying, Grandpa, can you tell me what you know about Kuwait before oil? Grandpa, sure dear, what do you want to know? Abdurrahman, was life easy? Were people happy? Grandpa, no, life wasn't easy at all, but people were happy. Let me tell you that things weren't as easy or fast as they are nowadays. Homes were made of mud. People used to sleep on the roofs because they didn't have electricity for cooling. Grandpa, jobs weren't as varied as nowadays. People worked in pearl diving, fishing, and spice trading. We didn't have schools. We went to Al-Katatib, where we learned reading, writing, and basic arithmetic. Let me tell you another thing. We weren't privileged with things like refrigerators or stoves. We rather had fresh, preserved food, and all things were made by hand, such as sedu. Abdurrahman, that's amazing, Grandpa. But I have one more question. Are you happier now with all the things that you have, like cars, modern houses, and technology? Grandpa, oh, Abdurrahman, happiness has nothing to do with cars, oil, or money. When you come to be my age, you will realize that happiness is health, family, and good friends. Now, we just ended the text by reading the text. We are now going to answer the questions that we first reviewed. From A, B, C, and D, choose the correct answer. Number 1, the best title for the text is A Simple Life, B, Jobs in Kuwait, B, Kuwait in the Past, D, The Sources of Happiness. So, before you answer, we have a tip here. The best title is a word or phrase that identifies the subject. What is the best title? What is the main idea of the paragraph or the dialogue? Excellent. It was about Kuwait in the past, so generally it is the best title for the text. So it's C, Kuwait in the past. Number 2, the word preserved in the third paragraph means what? Is it A, kept, B, eaten, C, cooked, D, bought? So first, underline the word preserved in the third paragraph and look for the key word so you can understand and guess the meaning. So we have fresh, we have food. So preserve here means A, kept. Number 3, the pronoun they in the first paragraph refers to A, roofs, B, people, C, homes, D, things. So let's first underline the pronoun they in the first paragraph and refer to the noun. So they here, we have the underlined keywords, either things, or refers to homes, or refers to people, or does it refer to roofs? Excellent, so it refers to people. That is B. Number 4, Abdurrahman is interviewing his grandpa too. Is it A, write a report about life in Kuwait, B, answer a school history competition, C, write a story about Kuwait in the past, D, act in a school play about Kuwait in the past? So why was he interviewing his grandpa? What was the main idea of the dialogue? So we can see the underlined sentence here that gives us the clue here is to write a report about life in Kuwait before and after oil. So the answer here is A. Okay, number 5, according to the dialogue, one of the following statements is true. So only one of them is true. Is it A, happiness means money, B, happiness means cars and oil, C, happiness means friends only, or D, happiness means friends, family, and good friends? So let's go back to the paragraph and let's underline the evidence, and that is happiness is health, family, and good friends. So the answer here is D. Number 6, the purpose of the writer in writing this article is to either A, inform us about jobs in Kuwait before oil, B. Tell us how life was in Kuwait in the past. C. Persuades us to live as people lived in the past. D. Entertain us with a story about a Kuwaiti fisherman. So before we answer, we have to look at the multiple purposes of the writer. Why does the writer write such texts? Either it is to inform or to give, that is to give facts about something, or get you to do or change your thoughts about something, to persuade, tell us a humorous story about humorous story, or teach us a lesson, and that is to entertain. Give mostly details about a person, place, or thing, that is to describe. So what was the text all about? Excellent. So the grandpa here was giving information about life, how was life in the past. So he is describing, or he is telling us how life was in Kuwait in the past. It's B. Now we have answered the following questions. Number 7, what kind of friends that makes you or makes us happy? 8, why was life in the past difficult? So let's answer number 7, but before we answer, we have to look for the evidence, of course, in the text, and answer in complete sentences. So for question number 7, what kind of friends that makes us happy? We can find that in a paragraph, good friends. So the grandpa said good friends. So good friends make us happy. So 8, why was life in the past difficult? So why was life in the past difficult? The grandpa was explaining why. So we have many reasons why life in the past was difficult. We can see that people did not have refrigerators or stoves, so cooking was a bit harder than how we cook now. People in the past it was hard to find jobs in the past, so finding jobs were hard in the past. This is another point. There is a third point, and that is people didn't have electricity or cars, modern houses, or any technology. So all of these factors make life difficult in the past. Now we just ended our episode, and this is a summary of our episode. Today we have learned how to answer comprehension questions relating to reading. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode.